1967, you throw for over 4,000 yards. That was unbelievable at the time. That just didn't happen.
Boy, this is, this is nice, folks. I don't talk much about that. This was a 14-game schedule, too. It wasn't 16 games, and that number of yards by a team passing the ball through the air held up for many years after, until they changed the rules, actually. But Don Maynard, George Sauer, Big Boy Pete Lamon, Snell, Boozer, Mathis, our offensive line, we were throwing that rock downfield.
Now you're in your fourth year, and as a group, we're good enough to win.
We believe that. Yes, we did.
You guys go 11-3 in 1968. Now you're in the playoffs for the first time in franchise history. So now there's going to be, just for means of an education, an AFL championship game, and the winner of that game will go on to play in what we know as the Super Bowl. So you have the Raiders, this hated Raiders team. You'd only beat them once.
They were good. Their ownership, Al Davis, bless him, man, he was sensational, Brooklyn guy, that really had his style. And the Raiders had their style, even though that was the toughest game physically that I had ever played in.
You would not come out of that game. That's why he was known. You were known as one of the toughest guys in the history of pro football.
I was fortunate. Again, some injuries can be debilitating, and some just hurt. And if you're fortunate enough to where it hurts, but you can play through it, you're fortunate, yeah.
How satisfying was that win to give to that organization and those fans to beat the Raiders in the AFL championship?
For more than one reason, Joe. Again, to have the opportunity to go to the championship game, man, and then to beat a team that has been traditionally a major foe because they were so good.
But nobody, yeah, go ahead, let them hear it. We have to set this up again, though, because you're the AFL champions. This is Super Bowl III, and you go into this game against an awesome Colts team, and they are favored in Super Bowl III by 17 points going in. I mean, the odds are hard to overcome going into this game. And you make a guarantee at a banquet that week of the Super Bowl that you're going to win.
Everyone and everyone, the media anyway, and the sports world, talking about how great the Colts were, and they did have a wonderful team. But if you can imagine being told yourself that you're not good enough, you're not going to win. If you're constantly being told for 10 days, a couple of weeks prior to the contest that you don't have a chance. Excuse me? We didn't get to the level we were in as competitors thinking we didn't ever have a chance or thinking that someone was going to whip us. We knew that we were in for a battle, but I don't think any of us, having confidence in ourselves, having confidence in our team, should accept the fact or should accept being told you're not going to. Well, excuse me, why do we play the game? We're going to find out.
We have this quote on the wall, which I love, and I think it fits in right here. When you have confidence, you can have a lot of fun. And when you have fun, you can do amazing things. You had the confidence, if the outside world didn't have it, that the Jets were good enough to win this Super Bowl.
Had the confidence, believed we could, but the other teams didn't have the kind of team we had.
The guarantee, is that a bigger deal? Is that less of a deal than we should make of it? It was at a banquet. Were you just tired of everybody saying Baltimore, 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 or was it a real thing, and did it factor into what happened that Sunday.
It factored into in this way, telling everybody, at least in New York and in my home, we're going to win the game. You go ahead and count on that and do what you want. And, you know, Coach Eubank was upset about it. The next day at practice, before practice started, it was in the media down there. Edwin Pope of Miami is the one that wrote about it first of all. And Coach Eubank sent for me to come out in the middle of the field and talk to him. He's standing out there waiting for me like that. And I said, oh, man. Cleve Rush, our offensive coordinator, standing there with his head down. I get out there, and we says, Joseph, those guys are so overconfident. They are so overconfident over there that now you've given them ammunition to get fired up. I said, Coach? He said, yes, you've given them ammunition. They're going to Coach Schiller's going to put up on the bulletin board all these clips about guaranteeing we're going to win this game. He said, you've given them ammunition to get fired up. And I was really a little bit embarrassed there, but I got my Gemini side of playfulness came in. I said, well, Coach, you know, it's your fault. He said, what? I said, well, it's your fault. I mean, you've been telling us we're going to win. I mean, if you hadn't convinced me we're going to win, I wouldn't have said that. I mean, you said we're good enough. You told us we're going to win. So, I mean, it's all your fault that I said that, Coach. Oh, get out of here, Joseph. Get out of here. Go. I ran off that field as fast as I could.
And here's what it looked like, Super Bowl III.
Namath's pass is complete for a first down to Mathis. First, 3rd and 4. Namath fires. It's complete. Right on a line.
Yeah.
When you won that game, and you made good on this guarantee, and you put a stamp out there that the AFL was legit. You know, the AFL was good enough to be better than the best from the NFL. Can you describe what that felt like to you because of all that went into that?
Yeah. My insides were like bubbling with joy, just bursting out with joy. I couldn't even say words, kind of. Settling in after the game in the locker room, you know, just winding down and thinking about how we accomplished it. We did it, you know. We accomplished something that, as a child, I keep saying this, folks, Little League on, you know, winning the championship. If you're fortunate to be a part of a group that can get together and do something like that, and there have been champions that have won several times, and bless them. Some of us only win once, and on each level maybe or whatever, but once is enough when it's so good. Yeah, man.